Alright guys, how's it going? I hope you're doing very well. Now this is the comparison node or the compare node inside of Blender Octane, and I'll be completely honest, I probably don't use it to its full potential. I generally use it for mixing materials. It's good for evaluating one value and another value and then just putting two things together, but it's a little bit more complex than that, and I'll try and explain the best that I can. So as you can see here, I have the comparison node that just goes straight into the albedo, and I'm just doing a basic procedural effect. We can change this. Let's go to something like a fire emitter. I don't like the way his nose is looking. That's not very good. Let's change that to something else. Let's go to kaleidoscope. That's a bit better. So as you can see, I have the input value here, and I'm leaving the input value B the same. And we have an operation underneath. And this is pretty much the maths of it. So you have less than, greater than, so A is less than B, greater than A is greater than B. And this is good if you have maybe two RGB images. It doesn't necessarily need to be a procedural effect going into the inputs here. So you can take two different colours and compare them, and then you can have an output. If this is true, do this. But generally what I'll do is I'll just use it for mixing materials. So I have two RGB images here, and you can see that I can quickly mix them together, and obviously I can change the input. Just be very careful with this value, it's very sensitive, so generally what you need to do is just be very careful. Anyway, so if I want to compare A to B, I can put in something like another procedural, which is technically still black and white, but we can use something like a dirt and we can put the strength up, and you can immediately start to see how you can quickly mix materials together. So this is pretty much where the comparison node comes in. For me personally, why I would use it. It's obviously a little bit more complex. So I'll just briefly show you the documentation here. As you can see, we have a compare node, so you can have like a spectrum and you can have two different images comparing each other, and then you can swap these around with the inputs. So it does come in handy, and that is pretty much the comparison node. It compares the values from input A to input B, lets you do an operation, and then you can have true or false statements. And you can always build these on top of each other, and then you can start making gates and stuff like this, but I'm not clever enough for that stuff. Anyway, you know what to do. Take care.